So, hi everyone. So welcome to the Ogx induction materials. The first module here is going to be about Outgoing Exchange 101. So here I'll be talking a bit more about what Outgoing Exchange is, or otherwise known as Ogx, what the role of Ogx is in ISEC, and what's essential for people who are in Ogx, and what you'll be doing on a day-to-day level, and what you can learn from being a part of Ogx. So, before I start off, there are a lot of acronyms that we do tend to use, especially within the Ogx portfolio. So Ogx stands for Outgoing Exchange. So this is all the people that we send overseas, all the products that we do. MAC is marketing and communication. So Ogx and marketing are two different functions that work very closely together in order to deliver our outgoing products. So our outgoing products are Outgoing Global Volunteer, OGV, Outgoing Global Entrepreneur, OGE, and Outgoing Global Talent, OGT. So I'll go in a bit more detail about what these three are in the next few slides. There's also EXPA, so experience.isec.org. This is the internal system website that we use to track the people signing up to our products and where they're going, what projects they're applying to. The hosting entity, it refers to the entities that we're sending exchange participants to, so the country they're going to volunteer or intern in. And then there's a sending entity, which refers to us in the Ogx context, so we're the entity that sends these exchange participants overseas. IR, international relations, so this is working with other entities to facilitate the exchange experiences for us exchange participants. There's EPs. So the EPs are the exchange participants. These are the people, the customers of Ogx and of ISEC, who actually go on volunteer or internship experience. And then we go into the more technical stuff as well, which is like the opens, the people who sign up to EXPA, the applicants, so the people who signed up and have applied to projects overseas. And then there's accepted. So these people are the ones who've applied to a project and they've been accepted by the hosting entity, and then approved. So approved is when the EP has been accepted by the hosting entity, and then they've paid the admin fee to ISEC in Australia, as well as signed the contract, and they've officially become a customer to go on exchange. There's realized. So realized is when they've started their exchange, the first day of their exchange, when they started their project overseas. Complete is when they've finished their exchange and they've completed a few surveys and been provided all the standards that we promised to provide. And then there's the leadership, LDM, which is ISEC's leadership development model, which as well I will go in a bit more detail in the next few slides. So, what is Ogx? Essentially, Ogx is responsible for bringing customers who sign up to us through the customer flow and delivering the outgoing products that they're interested in, which are the Global Volunteer, Global Entrepreneur, and Global Talent. And then, so when a customer signs up, we make sure we contact them and then bring them through the customer flow so that they're applying to projects that they're interested in, having interviews if required, with either us or the hosting entity that they're applying to, then paying the admin fee, signing the contract, and then managing their exchange experience while they're overseas. So as part of Ogx, this is what we do. And then when it comes to the products that we offer three different products, which are Global Volunteer, Global Entrepreneur, and Global Talent. So there's OGV, which is Outgoing Global Volunteer. This involves sending students or customers on exchange overseas to do a 6-week volunteer program in various entities. There's also Global Entrepreneur, which is involves sending students overseas to work in a startup for up to 6 weeks as well, an unpaid internship in a startup overseas. And there's also Global Talent, which is a paid internship in a company overseas that can range from last up to 1 year. So within ISEC in Australia's reality and context, we focus only on Global Volunteer, and so all across the entire entity, we focus on delivering Outgoing Global Volunteer for all our customers. And what this actually involves is that we provide that cross-cultural volunteer experience for young people who seek to develop not only themselves but the world as well. So we place them in that cross-cultural environment, working with various exchange participants from around the world, or even the locals, and then they have that volunteer experience where they work in an NGO in that country that they're going to, and contribute towards the sustainable development goals, and then tackle global issues. And there's a big part where they can focus on developing themselves and growing themselves through going through this experience. So when it comes to OGV, and not only OGV, Ogx as a whole, there's a unique selling point and that unique value proposition that that makes ISEC different from any other volunteer or internship program, and that's our LDM, the Leadership Development Model. So this is the Leadership Development Model, and what it essentially enables is that the people that we send on exchange, they're able to develop the leadership qualities of empowering others, being solution-oriented, understanding the world and being a world citizen, and being self-aware. They're able to develop these 4 qualities by going through an inner and outer journey while they're on exchange. And this inner and outer journey is, they go through that outer journey of what's external to them, that support system that's provided to them, the role that they're going through, the goals that they've set, and the interaction with various stakeholders, as well as an inner journey through reflection in terms of being able to understand their own values, or having their own personal goals, or reinventing yourself. And by going through this inner and outer journey while on exchange, the exchange participants are able to develop those 4 leadership qualities. And the way we allow for exchange participants to go through this inner and outer journey while on exchange is that we provide a set of 16 standards which allow for to cover things, that cover things such as logistics, the job that they're doing, the living conditions, as well as that experience and learning that they're going through while on exchange. So essentially, what our unique value proposition is that by delivering the 16 standards and satisfactions while an exchange participant is overseas, they go through an inner and outer journey, and in turn, they're able to develop the leadership qualities that we provide. So when it does come to being in OGX, what is it that you can develop? OGX is a very operations and sales based role. And because of this, there are a lot of skills which you can develop, a lot of competencies which you can have as well and come in and develop on. So some of these involve effective communication. And when it does come to effective communication, you as an OGX member, you're communicating with various people, whether it be students within on campus, your own team, or even ISECers from overseas who are managing the projects. So when it comes to effective communication, some things that you'll be working on is that you pitch ideas in different ways. So when it comes to this, is that you will interact with a lot of students who will show interest in one of the OGX products, and then how you how you tailor your pitch to each customer or each person interested will always be different, because that's how you're going to understand what they want and how you can actually get them through the customer flow and go on exchange. You'll also work on presenting different situations, such as different types of projects or going overseas, what they're experiencing, what they're going through, and you'll have to learn how to communicate this in a simple and a clear way so that people can be interested, as well as people can understand what's happening. Another big thing that you'll be able to develop and have is relationship building. So with this, what it involves is that because we are managing people who are going overseas for 6 weeks, we're the ones looking after them. We shouldn't just be treating these as just any people, but we should be developing relationships with these people so that we are caring about them, because they are overseas and they're putting our trust in us. So with that, we work with the hosting entity as well as the exchange participant to ensure that we're building that relationship from the very beginning, and then providing the exchange experience throughout. Other things are that we're very customer focused, so we involve championing the customer, so building that friendly relations with stakeholders, and this is similar to that relationship building where we're working with the customers, the hosting entity, even within our own teams. We're building all these relationships so that we can deliver the best product that we can. Projecting the customer's desired state, so trying to tailor what we're providing to the customer and ensure that it's what the customer does want, and it actually meets what their requirements are as well, and that they do have the right expectations when going, and that we're also able to identify and address customer needs. So you will interact with a lot of people who show interest in OGX, and then in order to be able to bring them through the customer flow and actually go on Exchange, you need to be able to identify and be able to see what is it that they want, what country do they want to go to, what project do they want to volunteer in or intern in, and by doing this, you're able to better understand and better bring customers through the customer flow. And the last one, business acumen. So you'll be throughout the experience as well as coming in, you'll be able to understand different operational problems and be able to analyze different problems that you do face, such as, for example, a volunteer experience being unorganized, and then being able to come up and suggest solutions as to how we can actually move forward from this. So being very solution-oriented when it does come to facing problems, and then being able to innovate and address what the market needs. So the market that you'll be working with is always going to be changing, and so you need to be able to innovate how you approach customers so that we can bring them through that pipeline, send them on Exchange, and provide that leadership experience. Yeah. So when it does come to being an OGX member, what does this actually involve? So to put it in the most simplest way, being a member of OGX, whether it be an OGV member, an OGE member, or an OGT member, we're responsible for delivering the product for the customer. The customer being that Exchange participant who signs up, and the product being the volunteer product, entrepreneur, or global talent. And within OGX, we need to make sure we deliver it from when they sign up all the way until they complete their experience. And what this means, so this is the customer flow that we have for ISEC, and all customers, all OGX, all signups who want to go on Exchange go through this customer flow. They come in as a stranger in the attraction phase, where they sign up and they become an open, and then where OGX plays a bigger role is here in consideration, where we contact those people who sign up, and then we have them apply to different projects, and then work with other hosting entities to ensure that these people are being accepted, and then again working with the Exchange participants to ensuring that they understand what they're getting into, what they're signing up for, and ensuring that they pay the admin fee. So we take those customers who sign up through the different stages of applicant, accepted, and approved, and this is the part where OGX plays a big role. And then the other part where we play a big role is value delivery, where this is where the Exchange participant goes on Exchange, is actually overseas doing their project or internship, and then as an OGX member, we're responsible for delivering the 16 standards, and we might not be delivering all the standards physically. We have to work with the hosting entity to ensure that we're delivering the standards. And then at the end, so this is the part where we work with marketing to ensure that the customers that we're sending overseas are brand advocates and become promoters. So this is where they become completed, and we ensure that they're filling out the different surveys and that we close off their experience. So as an OGX member, we're responsible for the entire customer flow. However, the key areas that we focus on are consideration and value delivery, and then we work with marketing for brand advocacy and attraction. So when it comes to being a member, what your measure of success is that as a member of your LC, your local committee, you contribute to your local committee's goals, and your measure of success is 100% of your individual goal. Yeah, and when it comes to being in OGX, what the measure of success for being in OGX is, what the measure of success for OGX, regardless of OGV, OGE, or OGT, it's the number of completes. So ensuring that the people who do go on Exchange, we're delivering all 16 standards, so that they are having that full, complete experience, and ensuring everything's being delivered, and they do become complete. the supporting measures of success in order to get towards the complete MOS is the number of applicants that we get, the number of accepts that we get, the number of approves that we get, and the number of realizes that we get. So start like how the number of people that we bring in from opens through to applicant, through to accept, through to approve, through to realize, and then finally through to complete. And then other additional things that also we that are measures of success for us is that conversion between each of these stages. So from sign up to applicant, from applicant to accept, accept to approve, approve to realize, and realize to complete. We manage the conversions between these, as well as the process time. So from applicant to accept and accept to approve. So the process time is the number of days it takes for an applicant to actually become accepted and accepted to become approved. So we don't look at the process time for approved to realize, because this, depending on the project, it can be 6 weeks, it can be a year long. So it's something that we should know based on where they're going, but it's not something we measure actively or control. And same thing for realize to complete. This should be within 2 weeks. It's a standard for 2 weeks, and it's not something we actively measure. Whereas from applicant to accept and accept to approve, we need to we measure the number of days it takes to actually for an applicant to become accepted and then become approved. And the last one, the number of standards that we're actually delivering when an exchange participant is realized and on exchange. So there are 16 different standards, and as an OGX member, we need to ensure that all 16 are being delivered in order to actually become a completed. So as an OGX member, there's a lot of supporting MOSs and a lot of different processes for each one in terms of how we can actually improve our conversion or deliver each standard or reduce our process time. And in the next module, in the customer flow module, we'll be going through that in a bit more detail, and over the next few weeks, it will be covered as well. So when it comes to Ogx activities, what you'll be involved in, as I did mention before, for ISEC in Australia, we focus on OGV. So a lot of it is OGV based. We work with marketing to promote OGV through physical channels. So we support marketing in executing these marketing events such as stores, lecture bashes, events on campus, and so on. One of the key things that we do is that anyone who does sign up to become for an Ogx product, we contact them within 24 hours, and when we bring them through the customer flow, we help them get applied, get accepted, get approved, get realized, and completed. So this is one of the core things that we do as an Ogx member. So additional things is that we manage these exchange participants before they actually go on exchange. So making sure that we're keeping in contact with them, making sure they're aware of what's happening when they go on exchange, making sure expectations are very clear. Another very big thing is that we support the exchange participants while they're on exchange. So this involves either virtually checking in with them regularly, or even working with the hosting entity to ensure that the exchange is up to standard. Additional thing that you'll be involved in is that you work with your team leader to create that individual personal development plan and organizational plan in order to achieve your individual goals. And then the last one is that you attend your weekly team meetings in order to work with your team, understand how you can work with your team, and have that way forward. So when it does come to what you can learn from being an Ogx member, there's a lot of different things, and some of these involve being customer centric, so actually understand what the customer wants, being able to tailor the needs for the customer. You can improve a lot with your communication skills because you're interacting with a lot of different stakeholders throughout your experience. Time management, teamwork, strategy execution, constantly testing what the LC and your own individual plans are, and tweaking it and making those small changes to improve. Managing customers throughout the entire customer process. Being able to analyze data and actually make inferences from this data, such as this is the number of people, the people applying for certain projects are from a certain faculty, and so on. Working on brand awareness within your campus. Managing any crises that do pop up, such as an exchange participant project is not up to standard, it's unorganized. The sales and operations competencies that I mentioned before, effective communication, relationship building, challenging the customer, and business acumen. Data analysis, pitching, and creativity. So throughout your entire experience, you'll be placed in a lot of different situations with customers, with your within your own local community, even with other entities overseas, where you'll be having the opportunity to learn different skills here. So that's everything for the OGX introduction to OGX. So thank you for watching this webinar, and all the best. And I look forward to seeing what you can achieve. Thank you.